Good evening. Karnataka has spoken. Karnataka has expressed its mind. One of the keenly watched, closely monitored election. The results are coming in from Karnataka. The item is holding a discussion on the Karnataka election results. On the panel, we have Venkatesh Ramakrishnan, who is the managing editor of the item, Umapati, consulting editor of AIDEM. AIDEM is a portal. Then Rashmi Koti, she's the executive editor of Andolana, Mysore. She's joining from Mysore. And then we have Ravi Sharma, former journalist with the Frontline, senior journalist with the Frontline. So the figures are very interesting. This election has been hailed as the curtain raiser for the national polls. So we'll start with Umapati. Umapati, you're consulting editor with AIDEM. AIDEM holds a distinction of having done the first survey about Karnataka election, and you predicted 142 seats for Congress, and we are closing almost 137 right now, leading 137. So you're amazingly close to the real picture. So what's your take on the results that are coming in?
On the hindsight, Ramakrishnan, people of Karnataka had made up their mind long ago, much before the election process started. In fact, it is more and more evident, it is more and more clearer that they had made up their mind to say goodbye to BJP even before the elections were started. It was a strong undercurrent of anti-incumbency was there, and EIDEM, the EIDEM is correct meaning of EIDEM is today, this day. So EIDEM had predicted this much before, and people now are saying that you and today India Today got it right, but India Today's was an exit poll, ours is a pre-poll, and this was a mega survey. We had some 40,000 samples, and it was not a telephone survey, mind you. It was face-to-face survey conducted by a large number of media volunteers all around Karnataka. So it is price rise was the first issue people flagged in our survey. They were not happy with the price rise, and then comes corruption, and then comes unemployment. So all put together, people of Karnataka have given a very clear and decisive verdict against BJP in Karnataka, which should set a trend actually, which everybody thought BJP is invincible and Modi cannot be defeated. But we have still opposition parties. Even now they are divided in India. We have a long way to go, but this is a starting point, I think. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, but then even while we are speaking talking about the trends and the public response to the government's policies, the Bangalore city has more or less stood with the BJP. It seems the sitting seats have been retained. So the focus has shifted to Mysore. So I think we can hear from Mysore. What is the trend happening in Mysore?
The result clearly suggests that there was a very strong degree of anti-incumbency against the government. So the BJP did not have a defeat. They had a major defeat because the national narrative of the BJP did not work for them. Narendra Modi aggressively campaigning did not work for them. And you should also understand that their major concentration was in Mysore region only. They've come again and again. The national leaders have visited Mysore again and again. And in spite of that, that hasn't worked in this election. So we can, it's a clear sweep for Congress. And why I said that they had a major defeat, because Coorg used to be the Kodagu region, used to be the bastion of BJP. Both the constituencies were in the hands of BJP in 2018 election, and they've lost both the constituencies in this election to Congress. And whereas they had one constituency in Chamarajnagar in last election, and that too they've lost in this election. In Chamarajnagar, Congress has won. They've managed to sweep 3 seats, and JDS is managed to take over one constituency. And even in Mysore region, BJP had 3 seats in last election, 3 constituencies in last election, and whereas it has managed to get only one constituency in this election, whereas Congress has got 8 and BJP is 1, and JDS, they've managed to get 2 constituencies. So looking at the picture, we can definitely say that they had a major defeat. BJP had a major defeat in this election.
Thank you, Rashmi. Like you have rightly pointed out that the national narrative was not working. So I need to talk about that in detail with Venkatesh ji. But before that, we go to Ravi Sharma. Like we need to hear about the Bangalore trends. I think he is in the field right now, getting the real pulse of what is happening in Bangalore.
Yes, good evening to all. I think the BJP, especially under Modi, invested a lot in Karnataka. So the defeat of the BJP should also be, handed out to him, because he has invested so much of his effort and time to win seats, especially in Bangalore. And his campaign, the third phase of his roadshow, which was primarily to a constituency called C.V. Ramanagar constituency, yes, the people did come out to see him, but that constituency has the lowest turnout in the state. So is it that people are coming to see him as a spectacle, but not voting for the party that he's asking you to vote for? Is that a trend? That's number one. And the other thing is, there seems to be a clear divide between urban voters, the way they have voted, and the way the rural voters have voted. The urban voters are stuck with the BJP in many seats. You can look at Bangalore, for example. But the rural voters, and especially the Ahinda voters, Ahinda being the acronym for the Dalits, OBCs, and the minorities, they have heavily stood with the Congress. I think that's what takes this election to the Congress itself. The BJP has not been able to consolidate or retain some of the votes which it got from the SC, STs in the last couple of elections. I think that's what's happening over here. And the minorities have ditched the GDS in many seats and voted for the Congress. I think there's been this real sense of the minorities being really worried the way the BJP has been running the country, A, B, the state. And the other thing, the last point I wanted to make was about Bommai. I don't think Bommai has the leadership qualities or the charisma to lead the BJP in the state. I think now they will look to change him. You see, his only point is that he's a Lingayat. So when they replaced Mr. Yediyurappa, they replaced him with the Lingayats because they were worried that if they put somebody else, the Lingayats will ditch them. The Lingayats have by and large, I think, stood by the BJP, whereas the other communities have not.
Okay, so we'll come back to the issue of national narrative that Rashmi has pointed out. Venkatesh, this election, the tools that used by national leaders like Modi or Amit Shah, they had a very clear message. They brought in elements like even the Kerala story, the film that was targeting Kerala. So what will be the impact of this result on a neighboring state, be it Kerala or Tamil Nadu?
Yeah, before I come into that, I must share something, Anand, because, I also traveled in Karnataka and I had happened to interact with Rashmi on the ground and, of course, with many others across Mysore, Mandya, and even actor Sumalata. So basically, I think there is a very important factor, what Rashmi was pointing out. One of the big battlegrounds was Mysore. And in Mysore, what was happening is this Mandya region, the Mysore region is traditionally a stronghold of the Janata Dal secular. And there, I think, over the last 5 years, the BJP has made some inroads into the Janata Dal secular core votes, especially the youth belonging to the Janata Dal Secular. And that has split the Janata Dal Secular core vote. And that is where, since Congress it's had a strong base right from the beginning earlier, so they were able to make major gains. This three-way split actually benefited the Congress. I think that is, of course, I've been hearing from a lot of observers during my travels in Karnataka during the elections that this election is going to be essentially fought in the Mysore Mandya region. But I think the biggest surprise is not just the Mysore Mandya region, but the Bombay Karnataka and the Mysore Karnataka. There also Congress has come up with a phenomenal performance, and I think that is a very significant thing. And if you look at it overall, as Sumapati very rightly pointed out, price rise was a very important issue, especially the price of the gas cylinders and stuff like that. Unemployment was a big issue. Corruption was a big issue. So I think the poor, it's actually a verdict. In fact, even in the run-up to the EDINA survey, Yogendra Yadav, who has worked very closely with EDINA, he had said that there is a class element in this election. Normally, Karnataka elections are about Lingayats, Vakaligas, caste and communal combination. But Yogendra Yadav had said there is a class element in this election, and I think that has got reiterated. And of course, in the last phase of the campaign, both Modi and Amit Shah had brought Kerala into the picture, the Kerala story, and Bajrang Bali, of all people. In fact, Modi even said that when you press the button, raise the slogan of Jai Bajrang Bali. And then both Amit Shah and Modi said, your neighboring state is Kerala. I don't have to say anything more. I think this has got really backfired in a very big manner. And I think the ripples of this will be felt in other South Indian states also. So that is what I think about the South Indian picture. We will get to the national picture as we go along.
Okay. So coming back to the minority, the EDINA survey, the survey that accurately predicted the trend, there are reports saying that nearly 88% of the minority votes went for Congress. So has it been the constant vote bank of Congress, or did that happen in the recent the BJP government period? Mahmood ji.
Yeah, you're asking me, right? No, it is not been vote bank of Congress actually. After Janata Dal Secular entered the fray, whole fray, actually Janata Dal Secular commanded quite a chunk of Muslim votes. But after Janata Dal Kumaraswamy formed government with BJP, they started JDS started losing the trust of Muslims. They gravitated towards Congress again, but this election particularly Muslim community decided to vote tactically. Wherever BJP, wherever Congress candidate was in a position to defeat BJP candidate, they voted for BJP candidate, Congress candidate, and wherever JDS candidate was in a position to defeat BJP candidate, they voted for JDS candidate. That's how Congress voted actually.
So was it in a way the BJP national leadership locking horns with the state leadership of Congress in Karnataka? What is the trend, Devi Sharma?
Yes, I think it is the national leadership of the BJP led by Mr. Modi and Amit Shah versus DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah. It was, and maybe Karge to some small extent. You see, Karge's remark comparing Modi to a poisonous snake, that didn't have much of an effect. The BJP, of course, knew the writing was on the wall. But the last push by the Prime Minister with these road shows and the Bajrang Dal ban, that probably maybe gave the election a little bit of a spin. Otherwise, I think the writing was on the wall that the Congress will win. Though it must be said that Karnataka has always been a very difficult state to predict. And many a time you wonder how it will go, and then you come up with a party which has won pretty easily. When Yediyurappa, for example, quit the BJP, even then it was not. I mean, people didn't predict a Congress win by the way Siddaramaiah won. I think now the question is the BJP themselves are surprised. Like I was listening to some of these leaders saying that yes, the Muslims have voted against us, but what about the Hindus? So I think now the BJP is going to try harder than ever before to make this more communal. And unless they make it a Hindu-Muslim kind of a battle, they're not going to win. And this is the only state they had in the south, so it's gone. Though, of course, history is against the BJP because Karnataka hasn't returned a party in many years, 35 years.
But there was a flow of leaders from BJP to Congress before the election. And many big players have lost, like Jagdish Shettar.
Yes.
Been defeated. So what was
I don't think they made a difference.
That wouldn't make a difference.
I don't think Shettar, really made a difference. See, the Congress tried to say that the BJP is kind of wronging the Lingayats. I don't think that has cut too much of ice.
So
but I think the Deputy Chief Minister Asadi, he impacted the elections
Saudi,
in
Lakshman Saudi.
Saudi, I think he impacted the elections in about 15-20 constituencies. That is my
Not
gut feeling.
20, it's 4 or 5 constituencies at the most.
That's all. Okay, right, okay.
So now
because he had lost in 2018. Lakshman Saudi had lost in 2018.
So what are the new equations from Mysore, Rashmiji?
Yes.
No, Rashmi, I have an additional question to you apart from this Mysore thing. See, I think women voters were a very important component of this election.
Yes, of course.
Can you tell us something about it and how the women voters voted this time?
Yeah. In fact, there were many components which have played a major role in this election. As Umapati sir rightly pointed, that unemployment, corruption, and price rise were the key components which played a major role in deciding this election. So, inflation is a dominant issue for everybody in Karnataka. And as per the surveys, when NDTV and CNX and in fact, Umapati sir's survey also said that the price rise is the major issue which was which was about to take the major role in this election. So when it comes to women voters, when there is inflation, the main area which is going to hit is the kitchen in any household. So obviously, women voters they were highly concerned because of this price rise issue, because they were finding it difficult to run their household. The cylinder prices were soaring high, and the petrol prices, the diesel price and everything, it was soaring so high. The inflation was at its peak in last 5 years. So because of which every household was suffering. So, and if you see in Karnataka, mainly 51% of the voters are women. So they were highly affected by this inflation. So it was already, as Umapati sir said, it was already decided that they wanted to bring a change in this election.
Give the vote to the BJP.
Yes.
BJP.
So that was the decision of the voters, which we can clearly see in this mandate. So yes, inflation was the major issue, and women voters have played a major role in this mandate.
Okay.
Yeah, but
now this when we see this.
Sorry, it's not like the BJP.
Yeah.
Please tell me.
Sorry, sir. Please go ahead.
No, I
It's
just
not like
wanted
the
to
BJP is
ask.
going to bring back
I
the price of cylinders to 465, no? Many of the promises, like free bus rides for women and
Yes,
200
of course.
units of,
yeah, tell
it's
me,
all words of,
Ravi, please.
yeah, see, there's 200 units of free power,
Yeah,
provided, of course, your bill only reaches 200 units. That's the rider in this. Plus
yeah.
2,000 rupees for families which are headed by a woman. All these things are going to play a major role. I mean,
Yes.
obviously, where's the money going to come from?
Yeah, but I think these questions were asked in Delhi also. And Aam Aadmi Party was able to do it for a long time. I mean, they were able to do it. And Karnataka is a much more rich
Mm.
state than
True,
Delhi.
true.
So, basically, I think as far as I am concerned, uh, uh, beyond this the fulfillment of these promises, these questions are being asked by all opposition parties. But what is the Siddharamaya Shivkumar equation going to be? Of course, there is a sense that there is Siddharamaya is going to be chief minister and Shivkumar will be deputy chief minister. How is it going to work out? I think Umapati, Rashmi, and Ravi Sharma should be able to enlighten us on that.
Yeah, true.
I think it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a major battle because Siddaramaya's son has already made a statement saying that my father should be made the chief minister. Siddaramaya, last few days, he's a little bit less arrogant, let's put it that way. But I think the Congress High Command wants D.K. Shivkumar to be the chief minister.
Umapati ji, what is it?
Siddaramaya more
Umapati ji, what is
popular.
your take on that? Umapati ji,
Asking me, okay.
yeah, what is your
Yeah.
take on that? Siddaramaya versus
Yeah,
DK.
both of them have claimed rightly. Both of them have claimed, made their claim to the chief minister's gaddi. But ultimately, Siddaramaya is going to prevail, I think, because if it is left to CLP, Siddaramaya is going to win hands down as far as Congress legislature party is concerned. And I think Congress High Command will go by CLP's decision this time. And Shivkumar has to wait for some more time. And Siddaramaya is going, since Siddaramaya also has announced that this is going to be his last election, and he has lost, vast popularity in Karnataka. I think he is going to be the chief minister. And it won't be an ugly show, in my view. It will be a smooth
Yes.
transition, I think.
Especially
Because more than
Yes.
us, Congress High Command is also concerned about this, making it an ugly show. And Lok Sabha polls are very near, just a year away. Certainly, they will take all precautions to not to show Congress party in a bad light.
Yes.
So that's
And
What is your
I
take, Rashmi?
I strongly feel that this result is going to translate into 2024 election as well. So I'm sure the Congress party is not going to take any kind of chance when it comes to the CM candidate, because as we all know that DKC has got many cases on him, and when he stood for when he filed his nomination, he wasn't even sure that he's going to get the he can file the nomination. He was he wasn't sure about it. So he made sure that even his brother files the nomination in the same constituency, because he was not sure of getting that seat in that constituency. So, who would get into trouble in future? So I'm sure the Congress would definitely want to have a stable government in Karnataka. And when it comes to this case, in this case, Sidhu might have an edge over DKC, because he's maintained a clear political career, and he's also announced that it's going to be his last election. So definitely he's going to have an edge over DKC in this regard. So I strongly feel that Siddaramaya is going to be the CM, and definitely Congress High Command is not going to take any chance when it comes to Karnataka election because it's going to translate into 2024 election.
So now
That's a very good observation by Rashmi ji. In fact, I wanted to tell that DKC has had many criminal cases and other charges against him, and Congress High Command really do not want to be seen. Actually, is its chief minister going to courts and getting arrested and all?
So now the Congress across the nation has been hailing this as the first step towards Congress coming back. Is it really true? Is Congress such a cohesive unit right now? Is it in a position to make a comeback in a national level? Venkatesh?
Well, the point is, it's a very moot question. I think there are very many lessons for the Congress in this election. One is that, they started doing it from Himachal. They kind of, before that, before the Himachal Pradesh elections, the Congress had got into this trap of the BJP. They had fallen into the trap and made almost all elections Modi versus Rahul. In this election, they carefully kind of, from Himachal was the first place where they looked at localized elections like this new pension scheme and the problems faced by the army personnel, army pensioners, and looked at small issues, local issues, and campaigned and devised a campaign where the Congress workers were doing house-to-house campaign. So that is what that got them the victory in Himachal Pradesh. Similarly, they focused on the local strengths and the local leadership. They focused on the strengths of Siddaramaiah, Shivkumar, and all the local issues. They kind of steered clear of this trap of Modi versus Rahul narrative. And the other thing that they did was Modi did try very intensely to make it a communal election, especially after the ban on Bajrang Dal was announced in the Congress manifesto. He equated Bajrang Dal to Bajrang Bali, and he tried to kind of make it a completely out and out. I don't think any prime minister in this country has carried out such a totally blatant communal campaign. But the point is, even that did not succeed. So basically, this big message for the Congress is to get into the core issues of the people. Don't get trapped into this Modi versus Rahul narrative. But the problem with the Congress is now the Congress organization and the kind of people and the kind of people who are surrounding the top leadership, the first family of the party. Now they'll all start saying Rahul ji has given this victory to the country. So now Rahul ji can be propped up, and if they get into the trap of Modi versus Rahul, and then they are finished. What they have to do is to kind of replicate this across India. They have to strengthen local leadership of the Congress in every state. But that is also not very easy. Look at the situation in Rajasthan, where they also won last election in Rajasthan on the strength of Gehlot and Sachin Pilot. And Sachin Pilot was given an assurance that after 2.5 years, he'll be made chief minister. But Gehlot, the old bandicoot, has kind of very successfully kept Sachin Pilot away from that position. So basically, it is a huge management risk for the Congress. But Karnataka and Himachal, to a lesser extent, has shown the way forward. I think Congress has a lot to learn from these two elections.
Rashmiji, we were discussing about the Mysore. The Congress has almost made a clean sweep. So
Yes.
what will be the stand that, because basically they fought on the local issues rather than as she has rightly pointed out, they moved away from this personality politics and you fought on the local issues. So what will be the message that Mysore is giving to the Congress leadership in Karnataka and to the Congress leadership across India in the national level?
Anand, this has definitely given the Congress a lot of confidence to go ahead. So if you see the Mysore side, in Chamarajanagar, Congress has managed to take 3 seats, and in Kodagu, both the constituencies, and even in Mysore, it has managed to take 8 constituencies. So in Mandi also, which is always said to be the stronghold of JDS, even there, the Congress has taken 5 constituencies. So this has definitely given the Congress a lot of confidence to go ahead. And here I would also like to make one more point here. The fact that Karge becoming the AICC president is a national pride, and that has also worked in Congress favor. So all these things have there are many the issues which have worked in Congress favor, and this is another point which has worked in the favor of Congress. So definitely this election, the mandate of Karnataka election is definitely going to translate in 2024. That's how I see this election, Karnataka election.
What the personality politics that Narendra Modi brand of personality politics has brought into Indian politics is like the elements like community politics, community interest, those have been brought into under one bracket, like what happened in UP. So, where the minority votes, there were parties specifically standing for raising issues of minority. They have been eliminated, and now they are brought under the brand of Yogi Adityanath. So, when you're talking about the minority politics, so what will be the impact of this result on the minority issues or the minority addressing the minority issues? Mavadiji.
Yeah, minorities are going to get the clue. They're not, they can't remain dumb, and they can't possibly remain dumb to this very stark reality which has unfolded in Karnataka electoral scene. And certainly they'll take a lesson, and they will certainly resort to this tactical voting, to put it in simple terms. That is going to happen. Otherwise, minorities have no other choice but to do this for their own survival. So they will take the lesson, I believe.
And this year, I think we had a record turnout for voters, 73.19%, more than nearly 74% turnout. But still, how did the urban vote swing, Raviji?
Well, I think the urban centers didn't really vote so well. I think Bangalore urban did not really come out. It was just hardly 50 odd percent, with one constituency even recording just 43%. So I think, but I would tend to disagree with the fact that 2024 could be a replay of what's happened now, because Karnataka has always consistently voted for the state in a different way and for the center in a different way. So I think 2024 is, I still feel that, well, in 2019, the BJP won 26 of the 28 seats. Maybe they lose a seat here and there, but that's it. They will still get a lot of seats from Karnataka.
So,
and the BJP has always done well when it's a 2-horse race. The Hindu had a very good analysis the other day, the data analytical team, saying that the BJP always does well when it's a 2-horse race. So the Janata Dal secular will not be a player in the national election. You see, they've already been squeezed into a corner, and by the next state election, assembly elections, so Janata Dal may may not even be a party of any kind of relevance.
Yeah, I think that is what the BJP is targeting. BJP is
both are targeting that.
The long-term game of BJP. The long-term game plan of BJP is that that if they have to get into a bipolar election with the Congress, the BJP has a bigger chance of winning because the BJP has a better organization and stuff like that.
True.
I think that is what people like Amit Shah has already started speaking about it. That's what I know. So anyway, it's an interesting situation. But I think Karnataka, this result would have been a make or break thing for the BJP, because they wanted to retain this one state that they had in South India.
Yes.
And if they had won it, this would have been a great beginning for the 2024 campaign. But certainly that great beginning has been denied to the BJP and Modi. There is no doubt about it.
South
True.
India chose to move away from the BJP politics.
Yeah, actually, Anand, there is a larger issue involved in this. I am told that there is a north-south divide that is building up in national politics.
Okay.
Especially if you look at the performance of South Indian states in various social indices, especially indices like population, literacy, and all that. The South Indian states are doing much, much better than the North Indian states. And because of the control on population that the South Indian states have been able to effect, when the next delimitation happens, the number of seats in South India could be much, much lesser than what is there in North India, because the seats are delimitation process is dependent on the population numbers. So there are people who say that there could even be a divisive movement that will erupt from South India to divide from the rest of India. So let us see whether Karnataka election also holds that threat or promise.
Venkat, don't you think it is too early to say this? Because
Well,
Lok Sabha elections are there, knocking on your doors. And as Ravi Sharma put it correctly, Karnataka is known to vote differently in Lok Sabha elections and Vidhan Sabha elections. And you are a veteran in the North Indian elections, covering
both
North
of you,
Indian-
both you're also a veteran. You're also a
What?
veteran in North India.
What
You're
happened
also
in
vet-
2018? What happened in 2018 in Rajasthan, Maharashtra, and Chhattisgarh elections? And then what happened soon after? You know that Lok Sabha elections,
No,
Rajasthan went with Madhya Pradesh went
Umapati.
with Modi.
No, that is all fine. What I'm saying is, Umapati, once the next delimitation happens, this problem is going to come up in a big manner, because the number of seats in South India will go down, number of seats in North India will go up. We are going to have a very tough situation.
That is true. That is true. That is true. There you are. There you are.
And next year we've got two very important elections in South India, both Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Assembly elections are coming up next year.
So beyond the number game that we are seeing right now in front of our TV screens, this election holds much more ramifications in the national level, definitely on the state level, but more on the national level, isn't it? Because this could be the beginning of many larger things, major changes in Indian politics.
Now, how it will turn out, we cannot be sure, because it all depends on how Congress is going to play their game. But then there is a possibility.
Congress has to rediscover itself. At its present form, it can't be an alternative. It can't play a national role or a leading role. It has to rediscover itself to do that. And for some time, it has to allow regional outfits to lead the bandwagon.
Yes.
But then, as you rightly said, there's a trend that the regional issues may win the votes in the assembly elections. But for the national elections, you need a leader who can hold the national party together at the national level, like BJP has Narendra Modi ji. But Congress, who are they trying to put up there on that seat? It has to be a one-to-one fight over there in the national level. So
it can also be a team of leaders drawing from different states. But
yes,
how
definitely.
the Congress plays it is to be seen. I think that is a topic for a different discussion, Anand. We'll come back. The same panel can come back and discuss that.
We need to discuss that, because how the Congress is going to respond to this.
Yeah. As of now, we just hope that Sidhu and DKC will pull it through, and we'll have a state with stability.
That's true. Let's hope.
Yeah.
And Kharge also kept happy. So, and Kharge also was kept happy by giving his son a ministership.
Well, I think these could be the final words, and we will come back for a further discussion later. What do you say, Anand?
Yes, thank you. We had a very interesting discussion. We brought out some very subtle and very important aspects about the Karnataka result. So we will come back with more analysis and maybe on the ramifications of this result on the national level. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. you.